Hello, hello everyone. So today I would like to share with you the 8 worst mistakes that professional dance teachers make, usually early on in their careers, okay? And any one of these can make or break you. So, number 1, not quitting while you're ahead. So I'm talking about elite level, championship level dancers, whether they're amateurs, whether they're professionals. We invest every single asset, time, cent, emotional heart into winning and achieving as much as we can. Okay, so I actually kind of learned this lesson at Blackpool. After Blackpool, they had, it's a professional kind of dancers conference run by the, what is it called? Like British Dance Federation or Ballroom Dance Federation or something. It's a British professional organization. Anyway, I was seated at this dinner table with a number of luminaries, people I all immensely respect. As professionals, as competitors. And one of the couples at the table had just won their national championships. And there was another couple at the table where the male of the partnership, I won't be naming any names here, kind of condescendingly said to them, well, why are you guys quitting? Like, are you has-beens or whatever, something along this, line. And they said, and it was so wise, we need to quit when we are ahead. What else are we going to achieve? We've already won our national championship. We have nowhere to go but down. Okay. We recognize that we're not going to be world champions. There are people that are living elsewhere that have access to more politically advantageous coaching. We're never going to beat them, regardless of how well we dance. We want to start earning income to our max while we can. If we compete until we're at the very upper edges of our age limit, physically where we compete, we're going to lose out on all of that opportunity to make money during that time and start saving money, okay? I heard this same kind of story or advice from a couple other long-term professionals as well. I've asked one former World 10 Dance champion, well, why did this couple retire? I just love watching them dance. And they said, Sunny, where else are they going to go? They're already national champions. They only have down to go. It's the best thing for them to turn pro. And turning pro is emotionally kind of a hard step to take when you're an amateur dancer, or retiring, when you're a professional championship level dancer. It's like, oh, I'm admitting defeat, but you know what? No one wins forever. So my recommendation is quit while you're ahead, okay? It's wise, it's realistic, it's in your best interest. Okay, number 2, teaching solely for results, okay? So I definitely made this mistake early on in my career. I certainly wanted to prove myself. I was so eager to show people how competent I was. I was so eager to have my students get the maximum value for their money that I push hard, even to the point where they were frustrated, okay? And they no longer enjoyed the lessons. And it's certainly been a learning curve for me that I needed to slow it down and take the students' comprehension level and comfort and joy into account. It's not all about me, it's all about the customer. And if they want to learn something and need to do it 5 bajillion times, I now take joy in that and see the rewarding aspect. But certainly early on, I would have shoved people through it. And honestly, that cost me clients early on in my career, okay? And the reality, especially when you're starting out your career as a dance teacher, you won't be teaching competitors probably at first. You'll be teaching social dancer. And reality check, the vast majority of those people, private lesson or group class, just want to come and have a good time, okay? They don't care if they're a better dancer or not, to tell you the truth. So don't push someone harder than they want to be pushed. If they come in and want to be a superior dancer and love being pushed, hey, push all you want. But do treat each student experience as an individual experience, okay? Okay, number 3. not being nice to or even criticizing other local professionals. The ballroom dance world is small, whether it's national, international, particularly locally. Everyone knows everyone else's business, okay? And if people do not like you, particularly if the other professionals do not like you, it's going to be very hard for you to find a place that will want you to teach there, okay? So dance studios come and go. You do need to keep the olive branch extended and keep positive relationships with everyone you work with. Talk positively about them. Be kind to them. Share the music with them when you're in the room. Be nice and say hello. If they text and ask you a question, respond. And not only will that open doors for you in the future, the reality is I get a ton of private lesson referrals from local dance teachers who are like, hey, I think this pro, is going to help you be a better competitor. And I firmly believe 100% of part of that equation, at least 99%, is that they know I'm always going to speak respectfully about them. And that if they do teach in the same room with me, it's going to be a super pleasant experience, okay? We can laugh, we can enjoy each other's company, and I will be respectful of their time, their space, their students, okay? So be nice in any career. Okay, number 4, big mistake I've seen, and I've seen it repeatedly, especially for ladies, but honestly, men too. Do not rely on beauty and flirtation and sexuality to cultivate clientele. This is a very short-term guaranteed loss for that gamble, okay? There's always someone younger, more attractive, willing to put out more than you do to get that client. I cannot emphasize enough that if you want to stick to this career for the rest of your life, you need to cultivate your skill, not your flirtation ability, okay? That's not going to last very long at all until some, young, shiny new toy comes along, okay? Okay, number 5, not bothering to learn the lead and follows part. This is especially a weakness for people that have always taught with their partner. You're not going to be as strong of a teacher unless you do know both parts. And I'm not talking about just getting an IACD certification or passing that one exam at Fred Astaire. I'm talking about effectively doing it for hundreds of hours and doing every figure and swapping back and forth, teaching groups and privates as an individual. And I'll talk to you in another video about how I learned to lead, because I have had that question before, and it's a good question, especially since when I started dancing for many years, even through the championship level, I had no intention of ever teaching. So I did have to learn that really after I turned pro. It was baptism by fire, but I did do it, and you can too. It is absolutely worth the investment. And there's so many benefits to that. You're a better teacher. You're not beholden to your partner. What if your partner dies in a fiery car crash? Then what are you going to do if you only know the leads part? Or only know the follows part? As a lead, you can kind of manhandle your ladies across the room, but in my opinion, you want to create students who speak for themselves on the dance floor, who don't need me to lug them around to look and feel amazing, okay? Okay, next up, not saving money. Okay, you are fully reliant on your body in this career. Reality check. It's not always going to work for you. What if you break a bone? What if you develop arthritis? You need to save money for a rainy day, okay? Also, as you get older, you're not going to be able to teach as much. I had no idea when I turned pro. My parents were like, well, how many hours a week can you do this? I'm like, oh, no limit, 80. Okay, this is not the case anymore. I'm a middle-aged lady now. And it's not going to get any better as I get older. We are paid by the hour, okay? So you need to make hay while the field's ripe. When you're younger, you need to teach as much as you can. Don't cherry pick your students. Don't say, well, I want 3 days off every week, even though you could get away with that. Don't do it. It's not wise. Unless you want to be a Walmart greeter when you're in your 70s, you need to save money now. Okay? Invest wisely. You don't want to reach that age in your life where all of your peers you went to high school with are at the apex of their income potential, of their quality of life, and you're living like a pauper eating macaroni and butter, okay? Okay, number 7, biggest mistake I see, resting on your laurels. This is especially true for teachers that start out in their career, because when students initially take from you, they're just going to be bedazzled by how you feel when you dance with them. And that will get you so far. But there's going to be a point where most of them do not fully learn just through tactile following you, or if you back lead them. They're going to need more substance. They're going to need to hear a scientific explanation. They're going to need to see a visual representation of their part. They're going to need you to explain it in a different way that maybe didn't make sense to you when you were going up the ranks. So how do we do this? How do we grow as a professional when we are no longer actively competing and aggressively taking lessons ourselves? Well, number of ways you can do this. Definitely have to invest time. Research teaching methods. How do I teach people in a way that they remember it? Attend dance camps. It's super fun. Do you have to take a week off of work? Yes, but you know what? Just learn some other styles. Worst case scenario, you just develop that empathy again for, oh shoot, I forgot how hard it is to learn, and how do I like things described to me to be able to master them. It makes you a better teacher. Watch videos of the latest competitions. This is really only applicable if you teach competitors, but particularly with elite level dancing, it does evolve with time. Not just the costuming, which I've talked about in previous videos, but the dancing itself. If you look at a dance video from 1950 World Championships, that couple wouldn't win syllabus now at nationals. So the dancing evolves. And if you just keep tabs on that, invest some time, it'll pay off for your students and in the end, pay off for you. Okay, final biggest mistake I see, and I've seen this all throughout the course of professionals' careers, and it is a deal breaker. And that is they do not continue feeding their river with a stream, meaning they stop allowing new students entirely. I'll give you an example. There was a very successful local pro who was a trained championship level dancer. He only competed in youth internationally, so not the best of the best, but definitely proper trained dancer. And when you become very good, you often will cultivate, accidentally, amateurs that want all of your time. They have very deep pockets. They want to book all of your hours. They want you only to dance with them at social dances. They want you to only compete with them pro-am and comps, which I get. That's going to maximize your experience and learning in so many ways. But that only benefits the student, guys. Doesn't matter how much you're charging. People usually have an end cap to their lifespan, so to speak, of dancing. If that lady's husband decides she's spending too much money with you, she's gone. And then what happens? And these ladies, I've seen this with men too. They will literally offer you a big fat paycheck to only dance with them. And you either have to prioritize them over all of your other students, or you give them a word you will not teach other students. Don't take that bait, guys. It is not worth any amount of money if you want to teach long term. Because what's going to happen when you ostracize and fire essentially all of your other clients, when that person quits, which they usually will, you're left with nothing. And you need an income, especially as you get older. You've got a mortgage, you've got family to take care of. Don't put yourself in that position. Likewise, don't ever stop accepting new clients for that same reason. The students usually have a lifespan that's a lot shorter than yours. You're a professional dancer. You've got a passion like no other for it. And while most amateurs absolutely love it, it is a temporary hobby that eventually they're going to replace because of a physical injury, because of a divorce, because they move, because they die. Could be any number of things. Okay, so you need to feed that river of your clients with a stream of new coming clients. Most of those new clients will come and go, but you will cultivate really fabulous long-term relationships and excellent dancers out of keeping those doors open. Okay, guys? So I hope that's been helpful. For those of you who are maybe thinking about turning pro, I highly recommend just watching out for those worst mistakes, because I have seen these repeatedly, and these can all be deal breakers in your career. Okay, have an awesome day. Thanks for joining me today. Toodles.